Resource Radio. We can be found on the internet at realtyresourceradio.com. We've been speaking with Robert Corwin. He is the Central Ohio expert on title insurance and mortgage closing. He's the Vice President at Elite Land Title. Tell us, Robert, what are all these fees we're talking about at closing?
It does seem like everybody gets a little piece at closing, between the realtors, the lenders, the title companies. I can speak for our fees. We have to do some work prior to closing. We have to search the property, as we talked about before. We search records back 42 years, so there's an abstractor that I have to pay for. So that's what that search fee is. And then I got to pay someone to actually close the loan. That's everybody's on salary and makes money. So we charge for a seller's $50 closing fee. There's a deed prep of $50, and then title insurance. Title insurance is regulated by the state. So no matter what title company you use, the price is the price. So that is $5 per thousand.
Okay.
And it's based on the purchase price.
What is deed prep?
Yeah, what is
Deed
that?
prep is the actual deed that the seller signs over to the borrower, transferring it's a legal document transferring the property from the buyer to the seller, or to the seller to the
So
buyer.
$50 to just take that piece of paper and say, sign it?
Yeah, well, no, it is. They actually have to prepare the document. It's a legal document, so it has the grantor and grantee's name on it, has the legal description on it, and an attorney has to prepare that.
Okay, and you handle all that, right?
That is correct.
Okay,
Yep.
and then don't they pay a fee for transferring it?
Yeah, they do.
It seems like everyone has their hands in when I look at the HUD statement. That's the settlement statement.
That is correct.
Which is the 2-page breakdown, in case our listeners don't know, of the buyers and sellers' costs.
That's correct.
And a lot of times those HUD statements can end up being 4 pages if there's detailed closing costs that say the seller is paying for the buyer.
That is correct. We've just always put a stance with our business that we're not going to, what I call, nickel and dime people to death. On the seller side, we have a closing fee, we have deed prep, we have the binder fee that we talked about before that binds the insurance, and then from the time that we did the search time that we get it filed, and then our closing fee. That's all I charge sellers. Buyers pays for the search. They pay a closing fee as well, as about $50 for us to be able to go through all the documents. And then usually if they're getting a lender, there's a $100 that SIMO closing for their title policy for their lender.
There's just so many fees. There's even a delivery charge.
Yeah, I don't personally charge any delivery charges.
You're less expensive than some title companies.
We are.
So how do you cut those costs?
One reason is my wife and I work there every day. We've owned the company for 10 years, so we're there every day, and we do a lot of this stuff personally. We don't pay employees to do a lot of stuff, so we're there working every day.
Yeah.
And
I can vouch for that. You're very hands-on.
Thank you.
Definitely. What about, this is one that comes up a lot, where sellers freak out when I do what's called an estimated seller's proceeds, which is basically what ends up should be very close to what the HUD is.
That is correct.
If we've done it right. And when I get to the tax section,
Yes.
they always are, oh no, I paid those, and help us understand how taxes are paid.
That's one of the biggest questions that we have in a closing, one of the most complicated answers. In the state of Ohio, we do things a little backwards. We pay taxes in arrears. So people see tax proration from the first year, let's say we close today, which, so we take it to the date of closing. It's called a tax proration. Well, they see from 1/14 to whatever the day of closing is, well, their thought is, well, I paid my property taxes this year.
Right.
Well, in 13, you're paying 12 taxes. In 14, you're paying 13 taxes. So you have to give the new buyer a credit for the time they didn't live there in 14.
And that you live there.
And that because you were living there, that's correct.
And that's because the state is billing you after you've already lived there.
That is correct.
And they don't even give you the bill for like 6 months.
That's correct. So they bill twice a year, every 6 months, but it's for the previous year.
Okay. So what kinds of things should people look out for on their settlement state? I mean, is there anything that they should look and see, like if there's something out of the ordinary, say an assessment or something of that nature?
Yeah, you can always look for water bill assessments or tax assessments. Check the taxes, make sure that the taxes match up. That tax proration we're talking about, make sure you're getting the exact credit you're supposed to be. With the new laws, getting the title commitment within 15 days of closing, you should look at that title commitment. You'll see the semi-annual taxes listed on there, and then you'll be able to match them up to make sure you're getting your correct.
Which brings up, when you say look at the title commitment, for the average person, can you put it in layman's terms for us as to what we're supposed to kind of look at? Is there a main part of it that will help
Yeah.
us decipher through it? You know
A
what I
commitment to
mean?
like 6 pages long. It details
Yeah.
the property. It details the property out of your loan amount, the purchase price, who's buying it, who's selling it, the taxes, if there's any delinquent taxes, and any liens on the property. Probably Schedule B, Section 2 is what you want to look at.
Okay,
That's where
that
any
helps.
liens or taxes will be listed.
And well, I mean, what do you feel sets? I know why I like Elite Land Title, but what separates you from everyone else? Why should everyone come to you?
Well, once again, my wife and I opened Elite Land Title back in 2005. We're a family-owned and operated business. We do care about our clients. We do care about our customers. And if you call my office, there's a 50% chance you're going to get one of the owners on the phone. So we're very hands-on. We like to make people. I built my business on referral business.
And I know from personal experience too that you automatically give people what's called a reissue rate if they've lived in the home 10 years or less.
That is.
And on a refinance, which you don't always get that with other companies. You automatically just give it to the people, which gives them money back in their pocket.
We had just once again made a decision as a company to say, hey, if you've bought a house or you have an owner's policy that's less than 10 years, I automatically give you. I don't want any documentation. I don't want your closing statement because I can see when the property was transferred last when I do my search. So that's just something we automatically do, and that's going to save you about 30% on your premium.
That's awesome.
You're saving people money. You're doing a great job, and this is why we love working with Elite Land Title. Tell people one more time how to get a hold of you, and should they just ask their realtor to go with Elite Land Title?
Absolutely. They do have the right to pick their title company. So I can be reached at www.elite-landtitle.com or at 614-568-0033.
I love my house. What do you mean I have problems? Hey, that's all right. You can get some homeowners insurance to cover that too. Next week we have home inspections and homeowners insurance. Listen in. RealtyResourceRadio.com.